Hey Gwen, so you just emailed me that you have questions on 3 and 9E, I think. So I'm just gonna do them for you quick. You caught me at a minute where I just like needed a break from what I was doing, so lucky you. So when I say the volume, and it has this width, length, and height, I'm gonna multiply them together to get volume. So we'll do x times x plus 1 times x minus 4. I'm gonna set it equal to 84, but I'm just gonna kind of deal with this stuff first. I'm gonna distribute these two things, my binomials. I'll get what? X squared, that would be minus 4x plus 1x is minus 3x minus 4. And then all that's getting multiplied by x. So I would get x cubed minus 3x squared minus 4x. And that's set equal to 84. But we want the polynomial to be equal to 0. Minus 4x minus 84 equals 0. So there we go. So we have now set up our beautiful polynomial. And we need to find a factor of this, right? Because we need to find x, and because in order to find the dimensions, we need to plug in x. Let me just see. I'm just checking. I'm going to grab my calculator. That's not going to work. I was just seeing if I could factor by grouping. Unfortunately, I cannot. Stinker. So I'm going to do rational root there. Oh, rational root theorem. Well, this is just 1. So that's not bad. This is 84. So we got constant. What are our factors? Plus or minus 1, plus or minus 2, plus or minus 4, plus or minus, oops, sorry, I'm trying to do this as I'm talking to you. Plus or minus 6, plus or minus, oh, did I do 7? No, 7. And then I think it's plus or minus 12, plus or minus 14, plus or minus, sorry, this is highly irritating, 21, plus or minus 42, plus or minus 84. Okay, that's annoying. The good news is the coefficient, the constant, or the coefficient of the leading term is just plus or minus 1. So basically all of these would just be divided by 1. So basically those are just my options. So I'm starting in my calculator. I'm just going to go through 1 cubed minus 3 times 1 squared minus 4 times 1 minus 84. So that does not give me a remainder of 0. So I'm just going to keep going. Let's try the 2. Because what did I do? I need to put 2 here. Negative 96. Nope. Let's try 3. Let's try 4. Nope. Let's try 6. Oh, yeah. Remainder 0. So we have a 0 at 6. Woo. Now, I'm going to be honest. I don't care about negative ones. I'm just trying to think. Plus, minus, minus. So we would only have 1. If I just think about p of x, and it's plus, minus, 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 there's only 1 change. So there's only 1, since there's 1 sign change, there's only 1 positive real root. I don't care about the negative ones because we're talking about volume. I can't have a negative volume. So 6 is my x. So I would go back and plug it in up here. So if I plug 6 in here, that's 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. And 6 minus 4 is 2. So this would be 6 feet by 7 feet by 2 feet. So I know that was kind of an annoying amount of just like writing those out. 84 was highly irritating, but we'll do our thing. And we figured it out, so that wasn't too bad. And then the other question you had was on 9E. So let me do that one out. So we said conjugate theorem is kind of, we want to keep that in the back of our mind. And we have 2 plus I, excuse me. So I know 2 minus I is automatically a root as well. I have 1 minus root 5, so 1 plus root 5 is also a root. So it wants me to kind of put this as a polynomial in nice little standard form. So I'm going to pick 2 things at a time. So I'm going to start with those 2, and I'm going to distribute them. 2 times 2 is 4. And then we would get minus 2i plus 2i minus I squared. So what happens is those cancel out, and I end up with 4. I squared, remember, is -1, but minus -1 would be plus 1. Wait, what's happening? Are there really no variables there? That's just weird. Plus 1, that just comes out to 5. Okay, that's a little strange, but we're going with it. We're going with it. Oh, that's because I totally wrote it wrong. What am I doing, Mrs. Sherman? Okay, just ignore everything I just did. That's why that didn't make sense. Let's start that one over. I'm going to do it on the back. Oh my gosh, I'm like, why are there no variables? Well, you have to write it as a 0, you doty. So you would write it as x plus 2 plus I. Okay. Oh, I bet your question. I'm thinking of questions. So, because you would write it as x plus 2 plus I, and then x minus, but you put it in parentheses, 2 plus I. That's probably where the confusing part was. Excuse me. Hold on. I'm going to check one thing for you. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pause this. Why can I not pause it? Excuse me, Mr. Thing. I'm going to pause you for a second so I can Google something. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I just had to, I wanted to get that to a place I could actually explain it well. So there we go. So this is how I would set that up. So when we write a 0, we write x minus whatever our 0 is. So we do x minus, and our first 0 is 2 plus I. Okay, that makes sense. You just need to make sure, since it's a binomial, it's in parentheses. And then the second one, you would do x minus, and then since it's the conjugate, that's 2 minus I. A little confusing on the setup. Sorry about that, but I wanted to make sure it was clear, and now hopefully that makes more sense. So then for the other one, where my 0 is 1 minus root 5, you would write x minus parentheses 1 minus root 5, and then x minus the conjugate 1 plus root 5. Ooh, that's a big setup there. Okay, so let's just do some simplifying. This is really x minus 2 minus I, and this is x minus 2 plus I. I'm just going to kind of focus on distributing these, then we can do the other ones. So if I distribute, I get x squared minus 2x plus xi, or ix, whatever you want to call it, Then distribute negative 2x plus 4 minus 2i, and then negative xi, or ix, whatever you want to call it, minus 2i minus I squared. Oh my goodness gracious. Let's see what we got. I'm just finding things that will hopefully cancel out. The xi's cancel, right? Should one of those be positive? Did I mess up a sign somewhere? Because usually the main goal is to not have an I, and I have 2 negatives. Let me see what so negative 2 times I. Oh, this one would be plus 2i, I believe. Okay, whew, because, oh my gosh, I just put it there. That's there. Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm struggling today. Those would cancel. And then this becomes -1. Okay, so we end up with x squared minus 2x is minus 4x, right? And then 4, and if I do minus -1 is plus 1 is plus 5. Oh, all that work for just still not even done, but at least we're on a better path here than we were before. Okay, so now let's kind of do the same thing over here. So we end up with x minus 1 plus root 5, x minus 1 minus root 5. Let's see what we get. X squared minus x minus, I'll just write it as x root 5. Okay. Minus x plus 1 plus root 5. Oh my gosh, plus x root 5 minus root 5. And then root 5 times root 5 is just 5, so minus 5. Oh my gosh, okay. This cancels with that. And that's always what's going to happen is your radical should cancel. So same thing like over here. I knew my eyes had to cancel. And then the plus root 5 minus root 5. Okay, so we end up with x squared minus 2x. 1 minus 5 is minus 4. Oh, okay, so now let's take these two bad boys. And we'll distribute those, and then we will finally be done. What a problem this is. We get x to the fourth. I'm just going to write everything out. Minus 2x cubed minus 4x squared. I'm going to distribute the negative 4 minus 4x cubed plus 8x squared plus 16x, okay, plus 5x squared minus 10x minus 20, x to the fourth. Well, we have an x cubed here, an x cubed here. That's it. Minus, is minus 6. Yep, okay. Sorry, I have work here. I'm just trying to follow it. And then we have the squareds here, here, and here. Negative 4 plus 8 is 4 plus 5 is 9x squared. We have the 16x minus 10x is 6x. And then minus 20. Oh, what a problem. Thank you for bringing that up, because if I would I had to think about it. And sometimes we forget to think. So that is the beauty of that. So once again, when you have a 0, but it's a binomial, that's where it gets a little confusing. It's always to write the 0, it's x minus the binomial given to us, x minus its conjugate, and then I do my distributing, I do some more distributing, I do some combining, I do it the same thing over here with some distributing, just distribute for days. But there's your 9e. Thank you for asking that question so I don't get confused later. We had done 3, so hopefully those clear up any questions for you, but always feel free to let me know if you have any more questions and I will be happy to help you. Oops, sorry, I'm just hitting random things now.